Ladies and gentlemen, when we consider the essence of character, we are delving into the framework that underpins human behavior. What defines someone's true character is not the persona they curate for the public, but the actions they perform when no one else is watching. This is not a trivial matter. It's a question that governs trust, respect, and the foundations of our relationships. Character is not defined by a single heroic act or a moment of failure. It is revealed in the patterns that emerge over time. People often project an image they want others to see, one that aligns with societal expectations or personal aspirations. However, this image can only be maintained for so long. The true essence of a person is found in their habits, their reactions, and their default tendencies when they are not consciously trying to impress or perform. Think about someone who shows kindness sporadically but fails to exhibit it consistently. Is that person truly kind? Or is their kindness a calculated gesture to gain approval or avoid judgment? The consistency of behavior is the thread that connects fleeting actions to a larger narrative. This narrative, in turn, reflects what a person genuinely values and who they are at their core. The challenge lies in noticing these patterns without being swayed by singular events. A grand gesture of generosity, for example, may stand out, but it is the everyday moments that carry more weight. Does the person practice generosity in small, quiet ways? Do they give without expecting recognition or reciprocity? Such questions guide us in seeing beyond isolated actions. Consistency also applies to how someone responds under varying circumstances. Do they remain honest when honesty is inconvenient? Do they uphold their principles when those principles are tested? Patterns of behavior provide insight into whether a person acts out of deeply held values or mere. To understand someone's true character, resist the temptation to focus on moments of heightened drama or perfection. Instead, observe their ordinary, repetitive choices. It is within these repetitions that the most authentic portrait of character emerges. To truly understand someone's character, observation must be deliberate and free from the distortions of personal bias. People often project their expectations or desires onto others, seeing what they hope to see or what they fear rather than what is. This tendency to overlay our subjective interpretations on reality makes it challenging to accurately assess someone's character. Observation, therefore, must begin with a commitment to neutrality. Patience is crucial because character is revealed gradually. A single encounter or brief interaction is rarely enough to form a reliable judgment. People can present a facade, often unconsciously, that aligns with what they think others expect. Only over time do the cracks in that facade begin to show. Patterns emerge not in moments of heightened emotion, but in the quiet, consistent rhythms of life. Rushing to conclusions based on limited data can lead to misunderstandings or false assessments. Emotional detachment is equally important. When we are invested in a particular outcome, believing someone to be kind, loyal, or trustworthy, we may unconsciously filter out evidence to the contrary. This cognitive bias blinds us to the full reality of a person's character. Effective observation requires stepping back, setting aside personal feelings, and allowing the evidence to speak for itself. The process also demands attention to context. People behave differently in varying environments, and a fair observer considers the pressures or influences acting on someone at any given moment. What might appear as rudeness in a single instance could stem from stress, fatigue, or misunderstanding. Observing with patience and detachment allows for a fuller picture to emerge, one that reflects not just isolated behaviors, but the underlying values and tendencies shaping them. It is in this disciplined observation that the truth of character becomes clear. It is in the smallest of actions that a person's true values are often revealed. Grand gestures and public displays can be rehearsed, calculated, or even deceptive, designed to craft a specific image. Small, seemingly inconsequential moments, however, are usually unguarded and far more authentic. They are the windows into what someone truly believes and values, even if they are unaware of it themselves. For instance, consider how someone behaves when no one is looking. Do they treat others with respect even when there is no advantage in doing so? Do they act with integrity when the stakes are low, or do they cut corners because they believe it doesn't matter? These small choices are not trivial. They are markers of the internal framework guiding a person's actions. They reveal priorities, principles, and the degree to which someone holds themselves accountable to their values. Small actions also highlight the difference between intention and reality. Someone might claim to value generosity, but how do they respond when asked for help in an unplanned or inconvenient moment? Words are easy, but the true measure of generosity is found in actions that require effort, sacrifice, or discomfort. Similarly, decisions in everyday situations, whether to listen attentively in a conversation, whether to return a borrowed item, whether to thank someone for their effort, speak volumes about a person's character. These minor behaviors accumulate over time, forming a pattern. One kind act can be a coincidence. A habit of kindness reflects a genuine disposition. By observing these small moments, you can discern not only what someone values, but also how deeply those values are embedded in their life. These micro decisions create a tapestry of character, revealing far more than any single dramatic gesture ever could. The way a person interacts with those who hold no power over them is one of the most telling indicators of their character. These interactions are often devoid of ulterior motives, making them a pure reflection of a person's values and sense of self. When someone treats individuals who cannot offer them status, wealth, or influence with dignity and respect, it reveals a deep-seated integrity and awareness of shared humanity. Such moments often occur in the background of life, unnoticed by many but significant in their implications. How does someone address a waiter, a cashier, or a janitor? Are they polite, patient, and gracious, or do they display entitlement and condescension? These interactions are rarely calculated, meaning they offer a raw and unfiltered glimpse into a person's priorities. A person who is kind to those they perceive as beneath them demonstrates humility and a recognition of equality, whereas dismissiveness or cruelty often reveals insecurity or a desire to assert dominance. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in these dynamics. Someone who understands their own values and identity is more likely to extend respect to everyone, regardless of their social or economic standing. This respect stems from a recognition that worth is intrinsic and not determined by external factors. Conversely, those who lack self-awareness may project their frustrations, biases, or insecurities onto those they perceive as powerless, reflecting a fractured sense of self. Observing these interactions requires attention to subtle details, a tone of voice, body language, or a moment of acknowledgement or lack thereof. These small acts or their absence paint a vivid picture of someone's character. By focusing on how people treat those who offer them no tangible benefit, you can uncover the essence of their moral and emotional maturity. Integrity is the cornerstone of character, and it reveals itself when there is a clear and consistent alignment between what a person says, what they do, and the principles they claim to uphold. People often articulate lofty ideals and values, but the real question is whether their actions reflect those beliefs. This congruence, or lack thereof, is a direct indicator of their authenticity and reliability. Consider someone who frequently talks about the importance of honesty, but manipulates situations to their advantage or hides inconvenient truths when it suits them. Such behavior highlights a disconnect between their words and actions, casting doubt on their true principles. In contrast, a person of integrity will remain truthful even when it is uncomfortable, inconvenient, or they understand that maintaining alignment between their stated values and their actions is non-negotiable, regardless of external pressures. Integrity also extends to how a person handles their commitments and responsibilities. Are they dependable? Do they follow through on their promises? Or do they make excuses when circumstances become challenging? Reliability is a practical expression of integrity, reflecting a commitment to doing what is right rather than what is easy. People of true character recognize that their actions not only define them, but also affect those around them, and they strive to align their behavior with their values for the benefit of others as well. The alignment between words and actions is often most evident in moments of difficulty. When faced with ethical dilemmas or high-stakes decisions, individuals of integrity stand firm in their principles. They resist the temptation to compromise their values for short-term gain or social approval. By observing whether someone's actions consistently reflect their stated beliefs, you can discern the depth of their character and the authenticity of their moral foundation. Adversity is the ultimate test of character. It strips away the comfort of routine and exposes the core of who a person truly is. In times of stress, conflict, or critical decision-making, the facade many people present to the world begins to crumble, revealing the values and principles they hold most dear, or lack entirely. These moments are where true character either shines or falters. Distress creates pressure, and under pressure, people often revert to their most ingrained habits and instincts. A person who is calm and measured during ordinary circumstances might lash out or abandon their principles when faced with high stakes or uncertainty. Conversely, someone who remains composed, ethical, and considerate under duress demonstrates a depth of character that cannot be faked. Stress doesn't create flaws, it amplifies what is already there, whether that's resilience or insecurity, integrity or duplicity. Conflict is another powerful lens through which to view character. How does someone treat those they disagree with? Do they approach disagreements with curiosity, seeking understanding? Or do they resort to aggression, manipulation, or personal attacks? Conflict reveals how people balance their principles with their emotions. It shows whether they can hold firm to their values without demeaning others, or if they are willing to sacrifice integrity to win an argument. Decision-making, especially in morally ambiguous situations, is perhaps the clearest window into a person's character. The choices someone makes when there is no obvious right answer, when they must weigh their own interests against the needs of others, highlight their priorities and moral compass. Do they take the easy path, or do they choose the one that aligns with their principles, even if it comes at a personal cost? By observing someone during these pivotal moments, you uncover the essence of their character in its rawest, most unguarded form.